We're trying to talk about an ellipse and figure out what that is, what it looks like. So what I notice first is that we have y-intercepts, which means where it hits the y-axis at plus and minus 4. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to kind of graph that. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Graph that. Okay, so those will be like the, well, I don't know yet if it's the top and bottom of the ellipse or the sides. But what I can tell here from the foci being, well, one of them is negative square root of 7. That would be around 2, a little more than 2.5. 1, 2, about there. Okay, so there's one foci. Now, I know that since these intercepts were equally spaced around 0, 0, so that's going to actually be the center of our ellipse, that these foci will actually also be symmetric. So if I have a negative square root of 7, I'm going to have a positive square root of 7 as the other focus. Okay? All right, and so the y-intercepts being plus and minus 4 gives us some information as well. And now we know that since the foci and the intercepts both all lie on a vertical line, that means it's going to be a vertically oriented ellipse. So that will be the major axis, and the minor axis will be the side to side. Okay, so we've got part of the graph already. We need to finish this though. We need to finish the equation in order to get the rest of the information for the graph. So we know that the ellipse, and this is centered at 0, 0, so you don't have to subtract anything from the x. It is x squared over something plus y squared over something equals 1. And now if we had a vertex, or not, yeah, if we had a center other than 0, 0, we would have x minus the x coordinate of that and y minus the y coordinate of that, but we don't have that yet in this situation. So what we do know though is that the y, the up and down traveling here, we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So under here we put 4 squared, or 16. All right, this is unknown at this time. Okay, so we don't know what that is yet. But what we do know is that in an ellipse we kind of have a squareds, b squareds, and we also have a c squared. A is the major axis distance from the center to the edge of the ellipse. B is the minor axis distance. And C is the focal distance, in this case, from the center to the foci. All right, and what we also know is that there's a relationship here that a squared minus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so now we know a, in this case, a equals 4, okay, because it's from 0 to 4, and then we square it under there. So a squared is 16. B squared is what's missing. The short distance is not there yet. But C is square root of 7, and we're going to square that to make a whole 7. All right. As you can see here, 16, and it has to be minus 9, is 7. So B must be 3. Okay, I hope that wasn't too many steps skipped, but I didn't want to make a long video. All right, so when B is 3, then we know that B squared goes under here, and that's 9. And that means that in the x direction, we count out 1, 2, 3. We're there, and 1, 2, 3. We're there. So to sum up, this is C, this is A, this is B. Okay? And now that you've got kind of your 4 corners, you can sketch in the ellipse. Try to make it pretty, but it doesn't always work, especially when your paper shifts underneath you because you don't have anybody helping you and you're trying to film. All right, so there you go. Ignore that. All right, so there's your ellipse.